Hello, everyone. I'm Deb Keyes. Thanks for coming back to Stampin' on the Hill. I'm here today with another monthly card sketch. It's June, so June flowers is always in order. So I'm going to show you the sketch of the month. Is really pretty simple. I don't know if you can see my mouse on here. According to the key, and it might be a little blocked out by my banner down here, but according to the key, the patterned paper, so this dark blue hatch mark kind of paper, would either be a designer series paper, or you can emboss it, or you can just stamp all over it like you're making your own DSP, whatever you like. You can just leave it solid if you prefer as well. And then all of the solid cardstock is actual just cardstock. In this case, I tried to put a couple different colors in here just to differentiate that they are actual different layers. So in here I have white, and I've got a small little mat around it in this darker color blue, and then the DSP layer, and then the light blue is our card base, and then I also use the light blue as you can put your greeting in this section right here. So I was trying to keep it simple so that it was kind of going along with our simple stamping because of our Stamping 101 classes that we've been doing the first the first Wednesday, I'm sorry, of each month. If you've missed those, go on back. They're all on, well, they're posted in Facebook as well, but they're easier to find on my YouTube channel, which is also called Stampin' on the Hill. So go ahead and watch those, because I take you from very basics, and we're going to eventually, actually probably pretty soon, start getting into some more beyond basics kinds of techniques and backgrounds and stuff like that. So anyway, so I tried to keep this one simple in order to go along with that simple theme. Let me show you down here with my hands, and I hope that it's going to be bright enough. It looks a little dark at the moment. So let's see. I've got the two stamp sets I'm using are Flowers of Beauty and Unbounded Love. And then we're also going to be using 3 colors of ink. I've got Summer Splash, Soft Seafoam, and Calypso Coral. And the cardstock as well is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. So then my card's going to go like this. I'm going to set this off to the side because we're not going to use that right away. One of the things that you may have seen is I like to build and stamp and do all my card assembly or stamping. The way that I assemble a card is to do all the pieces separately first, and then put them all together at the end. So I've got a piece of soft sea foam, which is 4 by 5 1/4, and that's going to layer on here. And then I have a smaller focal point, which is, I have to look for my dimensions here a second. So the white is 2 7/8 by 4 1/8, and the Summer Splash is 3 by 4 1/4. So then that's going to layer as well, like this. And then I have a couple pieces of scrap, 1 white, 1 Summer Splash. So in order to get started, let's start with this layer. And I'm going to bring in my foam mat because I'm going to want to stamp a little bit off. And I'm going to use the small, I should show them to you on here. There we go. I'm using this outline of the small, and then I'm going to use the outline plus these 2 bigger ones here. And then I'm also going to use the outline of the leaves on this card. And then I'm going to use the greeting from Unbounded Love. So this is soft sea foam. I'm going to use the soft sea foam ink. And I'm just going to randomly stamp the small flower around the edges. And now I'm going to cover this up. So I really, you know, I'm going to just guess, and it doesn't have to be perfect. So I'm going to do a random stamping. So I'm going to kind of go in like a sort of a triangle pattern, and I'm going to kind of turn my paper as I go so that it doesn't look organized. So it looks random. Let's see here, down here, and then up here. And I'm just going around and around randomly as and they don't have to be, and I'm trying not to make it so that it's all this one, then this one in between. I can go back and add more later if I feel like I'm not sure if I can fit one in there or not. That looks good. And maybe another one over here. Okay. So I'm good with that. So I'm going to set this one off to the side now. And let's close this up for now and get out the Calypso Coral. Now here's a fun trick that you can, this is kind of like turning your one color of ink into two different colors. So, and only by stamping off. So what I'm gonna do is, so I've got the outline on one block, and I've got the inside. So this is what I'm calling the outline. This is what I'm calling the inside. So I'm gonna stamp the inside first. And there's no right or wrong way. You can do this however you're comfortable. So I'm gonna stamp the inside, so I want it to be a lighter color. So I'm going to ink it up. I'm going to stamp it off on my blotter paper, and I'm going to add this here. So there's a lighter color, and I'm going to do it again. I'm going to add 2 flowers, stamp it off first, and then this one's going to go this way. Then I'm going to bring the outline version of it, and I'm going to stamp this one in full strength. So I'm going to line up, and I'm looking at this little knobby thing right here, and then trying to line this up about right. It doesn't have to be perfect, but approximately. Not bad. And then this one I turned a little bit, so my little knob is over here. This is kind of hard to do because without sticking my head on the camera, it's a little hard for me to get it totally lined up. So I'm going to bring back the soft sea foam now, and I'm just going to add a few of the little leaves. I'm not sure if you can see those on here or not. And I think I'm going to add them, and I'm going off the paper. And I don't know. Let's see. How about if we put one here? And that didn't stamp very well, did it? Wonder if I can do this. There are 2 sides of the paper. I'm going to see if I can just line it up and call it good. Yep. I like it. It's fine. But that's why we have 2 sides of the paper. I could always just choose to start again if I wanted to. And this one seems like it needs a little more something here. How about if we put it kind of going downward like this, so it's a little off the page? Okay, I'm liking that. And then, so we're going, let's see, we can adhere this now to our piece of Summer Splash. And I like to use the liquid glue because it gives me a little wiggle room in case I don't put it down straight. I have a little time to adjust. And this we're going to put on with dimensionals. So I don't go overboard with my dimensionals. I know a lot of people will put them all over, but I'm a little more frugal. But I do like to make sure that the center, depending on how big it is, isn't going to sink down. So this is kind of usually how I do it on a piece that is rectangular like this. All right, let's see. Let's glue this on too while we're at it. Wow, can you hear that? It was loud in my ear. So this is going right onto here. Layering this, and I'm adjusting because it's going on crooked for me. So there's that. And then this is going on next. Do you ever get all these little backings? Like they're all over my craft room. I find them everywhere. Like they must stick to the dog or something because I even find them downstairs. And my craft room is upstairs. All right, so that's that. Now this is a little bit different. And I know some of you don't really appreciate fussy cutting, but there it is. It says, "You are loved." We're going to go with the Summer Splash. And got some on my fingers. That's okay. Oh, I really inked that up. That just means I have to push gently. Otherwise, I'll have a smudge. Again, there are two sides to this paper. And I'm going to cut this out, so I'm not overly worried about getting it straight at this moment. I just don't want to smudge. There we go. All right. So there's that. Let's bring in the chamois. And I always like to take my ink and try to stamp it off onto my blotter paper as much as I can before I put it on the chamois. That way I just don't have to clean the chamois quite so often. So let's just clean off the rest of these while we're at it. And this one too. There we go. Clean, ready for the next round. All right. Now, like I said, some of you aren't so much for fussy cutting. This is going to be fairly easy. And in the video, I will try to speed this up. Okay, so now I have an angle here. I'll show you how I did it from this side. So I'm going to take and I'm going to make an angle, whatever angle I choose there. And then I'm going to flip this little piece over so it's the same angle. And I'm going to measure out how much I want. And that's about good. And I'm going to hold this together while I cut. So now this angle matches that angle like that. And then we'll just glue this together. So my glue is not really coming out at the moment. And all right. There we go. And then I'm going to just glue this on. And I'm going to glue it so that it's coming off the side a little bit here. So about here. So I'm really only going to glue on the back side of this Summer Splash piece. I'm only going to glue from here to there so I don't make a big mess. And I can wiggle it around a little bit if I want to. to get more glue under it, and then wiggle it to make sure it's straight. And there you have the card. Let's move some stuff out of the way. There you go. All right. So hopefully, other than the fussy cutting, I'm thinking that was a pretty easy card. And you don't have to fussy cut it. You could make, a layer on a white layer on top of the summer splash layer. Of course, I'm telling you about the colors that I used, but you don't have to use the colors that I used either. So I would love to see your projects that you make with this sketch. Hopefully you're getting some use out of the sketches that I post monthly, and I'd love to see them and show. We can post them on my website or my Facebook page. That'd be great. Then everybody can see them. And heck, people like to get inspiration from others. So please feel free to post them there on a copy of this video. Or I think yesterday there was a post showing what the sketch challenge was to begin with for the month. So post them on that Facebook post as well. On YouTube, post them in the comments as well. So that'd be great. If you don't already know, every Wednesday I do come out with a new video. They're not live, they're all pre-recorded usually, because technology doesn't seem to work for me very well when I try to go live. But so I have better success with recording and then posting them later. But they're usually not too far in advance that I record them, so everything should be good. I think that's all for now. So I guess until next time, thanks for watching.